I'm JohnnyBunce. I'm the founding director of Wavelength Music. We're a nonprofit arts organization that promotes events in the live independent music community. Tip number 1, put on a good show. If you're starting a new band, find people you click with musically as well as personally. You're going to be spending a lot of time with these people. Spend time putting together great material. Think about your live show, your presentation. Think about how you act on stage, how you interact on stage, what you're offering the audience in terms of visual presentation. Sometimes it's not enough to just stand there and play your instrument. Spend the time that it takes to get ready to play your first show. Don't play your first show before you're ready. Sometimes your first show is going to be your best attended show. That's the one all your friends and family are going to come out to. So if you're not good, you're not going to come back for your second show. Then again, don't spend too long in the practice room because you can rehearse a song to death. Spontaneity and sloppiness, a little bit of sloppiness, can actually add a lot of energy to a show. Playing one show can be worth 10 practices. And I'd say 4 to 6 months is the ideal incubation time for a new band. So get out there and start playing really good shows. Tip number 2, learn to tell the good gigs from the bad. Once you get out there and start trying to get gigs, you'll find it's probably tougher than you thought. There's dozens of live venues in Toronto, but there's thousands of bands vying for all those spots. So club bookers are overloaded, they're getting thousands of emails. It's really hard to make yourself heard above that din of people looking for that, big break. So learn to find out the gigs are gonna be right for your kind of band. Avoid those things that sound too good to be true. If it sounds like a battle of the bands, it's probably not gonna end up being a very good show. So research the venues and nights and types of shows that you want to play that are going to suit your style of music and find the right audience. So if you're a world music band, you probably want to try and play Lula Lounge. If you're a classic rock band, you should probably try and play the Horseshoe. And if you're like a cool, weird band, you should probably try and play Wavelength. Number 3, be realistic. Understand you're working in a really competitive field where even the supposedly successful people aren't necessarily making much of a living. There's a lot of expenses in making music, and it can become an expensive hobby. There's a lot of sunk costs like rehearsal time, buying gear, moving your equipment. Transportation can be a huge killer, a huge expense. Touring is an amazing lifestyle, but it's not the glamorous rock star lifestyle that you expect or you might have read about or seen on TV. It's a lot of sleeping on floors and eating crappy food. So keep your expectations modest and you might get somewhere. Tip number 4, be nice. As a promoter, I'd rather work with a nice person than a jerk. There's a few divas out there, but luckily most people are super nice and awesome and supportive. So view a promoter as a partner. You're gonna work together to bring a crowd to a show. We're not people who are just here to provide a service for you. So don't just be an artist who shows up expecting everything to be laid out for you. And remember to thank everyone involved, from the sound guy to the people working the door, and of course the promoter. So also, please show up in time. That's important. Number 5, ask questions. Don't be shy or afraid to ask how payment works, how many guest list spots you get, if you can get a contract. It's totally okay to have everything above board, and it actually makes you look super professional and gains you more respect from promoters. There is this stereotype of the sleazy promoter that has led to some sort of strained relationships between artists and promoters. So treat us with some trust and don't always assume that we're trying to rip you off. Bonus tip number 6, get involved. This is my favorite piece of advice for new bands. Be a community band, not a job application band. Sure, you can sit in front of your computer and apply to play festivals and end up getting a random showcase, or you can get involved in your community, go out there, go to shows, meet other bands, make friends, network, create a scene of your own. Find a random bar which has a dark night, a Wednesday is good. Invite some other bands that will work with your band and put on a show, promote it, make a poster, make a Facebook event, invite all your friends. People will start coming to you wanting to play shows with your band. Before you know it, things are going to start happening.